Welcome to twoquestions.tv. My guest today is Fatima Bustos-Choy, and we're talking about living a long, purpose-filled life. Welcome to twoquestions.tv. I'm Susan Baroncini-Moe. Joining me today is Fatima Bustos-Choy, the owner and head instructor of Body and Brain Holistic Wellness and Meditation Center in Burbank, California. She's the founder of Gaia Flow Consulting, a leadership and organizational development consultancy. She is also acting as spokesperson for Ilchi Lee, the author of this book, I've Decided to Live 120 Years, The Ancient Secret to Longevity, Vitality, and Life Transformation. Hi, Fatima. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Susan. I'm so happy to be here.
I'm so happy that you're here.
Okay.
This is one of my favorite books of the year.
I know, isn't it great?
It's so great. You know, last year I interviewed someone who had done quite a bit of research in Longevity Village in China. Okay. And I also love reading everything Ray Kurzweil writes on longevity, and it's just a passion for me. And I just thought this book was wonderful, and it has an ease to it that I really loved.
Yes,
now,
I agree.
For our readers who are perhaps waiting for their copies of the book to arrive, you viewers, you have bought it, right? You've already rushed to Amazon to get it, right? Like, please. So what are some of the things that we need to do if we're going to live 120 years or longer, for maybe or not, you know, for those who can't quite envision it, but I would live forever if I could. But what are some of the things that we need to be doing to live longer?
Well, I think for me, it's interesting because as I talk to a lot of people about living longer, honestly, some of them go, why would I do that? You know, some of them actually, it's like, it's interesting because I think sadly, we do have models of people living longer that aren't really healthy and not so happy. And I said, but seriously, if you were to die today, or if you are asked to, if you have a choice to live longer, what would you choose?
Right.
Inevitably, of course, we would choose to live longer. And so to that end, I think for me, and as I work with so many people, the first thing is to choose, you know, and as you have read Ilchi Lee's book, I was so touched when he asked many of us, his students, have you read the book and have you decided to live 120 years? Honestly, I couldn't really raise my hand. I go, I don't know about that, teacher.
Yes,
but, you know
I'm in.
You know what? When I heard him speak as to why he chose, see, that's the key operative word, why he chose, it was like an arrow that touched my heart. And I go, yes, I am going to live 120 years. And the 120 is sort of a benchmark, but behind that is the meaning of why. And so I think one is choosing to live longer. Second, the why. Why would you choose to live longer? And for certainly Ilchi Lee, he said it's going to take so long to change the world. You know, we're in such a state that we can't do it overnight. You know, we created this world the way it is, you know, centuries upon centuries upon centuries. And now we need to shift. And as we need to shift, we can't do it overnight. We can't do it in 10 years. You know, we have to do it in as many lifetimes. And I think that's the key. It's choosing, and the why is the purpose. The why is, why do I want to live longer? Because I do want to change myself. I want to be a better person, and I want to change the world. I want the world to be a better place. I want to give back to the earth. I want to restore the earth to the way it was when we came here. I mean, you know, so then one is choosing. Second is having a purpose for that choice. And then the third is focus on that choice. Focus. Because we have so many wishes, but then another wish comes and we forget
Right.
the first one. And
Yeah.
so I think focus, concentrate on that choice, and then take action every single day, you know, towards that. Um, and of course, there are three other factors, which of course are in the book. And they are developing your physical power.
Yeah.
Because no matter how great our dream is, if our physical bodies cannot make them happen, then it's not going to happen.
Right.
So developing our physical power. And then this is a long journey. And so we have to have very strong hearts as well. And being open, being having the perseverance to keep going. And I do believe that's the openness and strength of the heart.
Mm-hmm.
And then finally, the brain power. So Ilchi Lee is very much a proponent of the brain. And then in this case, it's really focusing on the dream. So I hope that kind of helps. But I do believe it starts with us choosing and not living our lives what I'm reflecting now by default, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
But,
well, you talk about purpose, and I think that's so important because I think the question that a lot of people may have is, how do you come up with a purpose, or how do you find a purpose that is worthy of that much time, of that long of a pursuit? We don't think in those terms, do we? I mean, we tend to think so short term.
Yes, yes. And I think that's our kind of material world.
Mm-hmm.
You know, our material world is about instant gratification. Mm-hmm. So this is why our brains are geared towards short term and immediate results.
Right, right.
And so because we have been conditioned like that, we don't really think of longer results, I mean, longer visions. Right. I read one time in the Japanese culture, it's not unusual. In fact, it is normal and common to think of their business goals in 100-year terms.
100-year terms. Isn't that amazing?
Ours is 3 months.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ours is quarter by quarter by quarter by quarter.
Or where are you going to be a year from now?
You know?
Let's talk about 100 years.
Isn't it? But it's kind of a mindset. And mm-hmm. So to your question, how do we find that? You know, what is that purpose? And honestly, I think we kind of know that deep inside ourselves. And it's that purpose has something to do with helping other people. I think mm-hmm. that purpose has something to do with making who we are better people, helping other people. And if we can start with that framework, then there are so many opportunities, right. I feel, that we can achieve that. And in Ilchi Lee's work, he calls it Hong-ik, Hongik. And that is doing something widely beneficial for yourself and for other people. Mm-hmm. So I think if we can just use that as a little formula for what purpose should I pursue, you know, well, what is something that benefits me and benefits other people? Mm-hmm. Then when we ask our brain that, I'm sure we can come up with something.
I'm sure. Interesting. I love it. That's a good tip. Fatima, thank you so much for being on the show today.
Thank you so much too, Susan. It was great to meet you. And
you too.
I do wish people will truly get the book.
Yes.
So it can help them change their lives and change the lives of many people.
Absolutely. Would you like to do the after show?
Oh, I would love to. Thank you.
All right. Now, viewers, if you'd like to join us for the after show, come with us. Fatima and I are going to 2questions.tv. That's our URL, 2questions.tv. It's the only place you can see the after show. So you come with us. We're going over there. In the meantime, here's the book. We're going to have a link down below for you to get your copy through Amazon. So make sure you get your copy. This is one of my favorites for the whole year. This is going to be all of 2018. This will be one of my favorites. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.